Hello and welcome to Alternate Image Raid. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video, and today I am going to show you one of my dungeon teams for the Spider's Den. This will be for a level 20 or stage 20 of the Spider. You'll see here that I have Akoth, I have Sicia, I have 2 Coldhearts, and I have 1 Kymar. And there is some flexibility to this structure, but this team can get it done in less than 20 seconds. And so far it is a 100% success rate with the speeds that I have here. So first I'm just going to show you the run real quick. If it goes a little bit poorly on the debuff drop, which does actually happen quite often because Sicia is weak to this affinity, we will see that it takes a little bit longer here, but it should still succeed. And looks like this time it's going to work out real nice here. 14 seconds. That's just a great time. We'll see that most of the damage is done by the Coldhearts and a bit by Akoth's burn because of Sicia's explosion, and all fed by Kymar's resets. We're going to sell that, and I'm going to show you these guys' stats and then a little bit of the AI of how this team works. We're going to go recently used first because that is the best feature for looking at your stuff. We'll see here, I have Sicia's speed. Now hers isn't limited by her, hers not really the important part. But for her, basically, it's really just about the exploding of the fire debuffs here with this skill, and those are going to be placed by Akoth. And so she does need to be buffed for the debuff chance. This also will provide a weaken and decreased defense, which is really key for those Coldheart's damage. Again, I'll show you her stats here real quick. They don't necessarily matter a lot other than just good damage and accuracy over 250 to land these debuffs. I have her in lifesteal. This has really nothing to do with this team. That was just for faction wars at the time. Lots of improvement could be made to this particular champion. Now the start of this goes with Akoth the Seared here, and we have the Pyroclasm, which will drop HP burns on everything. And on the spiders, the chance of dropping will be 25% for each alive enemy, which will end up being a 100% chance on all of the enemies. I don't have any books here. I actually don't want this damage to be increased. That is by design. He also has no masteries right now. Honestly, don't think I care about them. I don't want his AoE to hurt the spiders. If anything, though, I would put some masteries, probably in War Master just for more boss damage. And then we look at his stats here. He has to be faster than Sicia in order to make sure that he gets the burn down first. Just have him with some kind of just whatever gear, honestly. Get a little bit of accuracy, again, over 250 to make sure the stuff lands. His stats really don't matter. To kind of do whatever you want, faster than Sicia, and make sure the accuracy works. He's in kind of a random set of gear. I have him a little bit tanky just for survival purposes, but he mostly doesn't matter. Kymar is built for a variety of teams that I have. I want him to be the fastest just because he's good in so many places. Again, really, honestly, stats again don't matter. The speed order is going to matter later. We're going to get accuracy just to make sure any kind of debuffs land, but his sleep effect on his A2 isn't going to happen anyway because there's going to be fire and poison and stuff going out, so kind of flexible. Now I have 2 Coldhearts here, and these are kind of key to this damage, but they're really simple. I want them to go last. I want that HP burn down first. I want the explosion first, and I want Kymar to be able to go faster than them. So it's just crit rate, crit damage, and accuracy to make sure we get the slow. Now the reason the crit rate is only 75% is because her A3, which is based on enemy max HP, has an extra 30% chance of inflicting a crit, so only 70% is actually even necessary in this champ. And then for our masteries, we're going to crit damage here, and that just gives us kind of a consistent bit. On this one, we have the same masteries. I haven't finished the last couple points spent. I have this one here in the Savage set because it just worked out that way. And here we go. I do use Hell Hades Optimizer to get these guys the most damage possible. If you're just going pure damage, it's really nice. I'll probably drop a link of that in the description of the video. But again, you just want crit rate over 70, crit damage. And honestly, I could use a little bit more accuracy here, but it's not super important as long as one of these guys resets the boss's turn, they're not going to get to go again for this. And that's really about it here. I don't remember if I showed these masteries. Let's show these. We're going to get this for the triple hit on that A1. Doesn't matter a whole lot on this particular team. And that's basically it. So we're going to go back in. I'm going to show you the AI to set up to do this for the spider team, because that is going to be really important in making sure this team succeeds. We'll see my fastest time can be down to 12 seconds. So the AI on this team, like I said, very important. We're going to make sure that he casts this first. We are going to make sure he never casts this. I don't want the extra AoE going out to the spiders. The spiders need to live, so those HP burns will proc. She's going to start with this and set this as priority so that when Prince Kymar resets, if she happens to go, it would use this again. We don't need her dropping this debuff down. I want them to use only Heartseeker and never use this ability. And then again, only Heartseeker, never use that ability. Kymar, I just need him to not use Seal of Magic first because he is going to go first. So he needs to reset after everybody else goes. So we're going to set this as going first. I don't, again, want the poisons on the spiders. I don't want them to take as much damage as possible. He will do this on the next turn. He will then reset for everybody else. And we're going to show this one more time so that we can see it now that we've seen everything else that's gone into this particular team. Now, maybe we'll get a chance to see the weak hits here. I might run an extra time just to get a chance to see since it is such a quick run. We'll see that Kymar does anything, doesn't matter, not the poison. We're going to see Akoth drops down as fire. We're going to see she explodes the fire. She did drop her debuffs again. It's very nice. A3, all the damage, and boom. Now I'm going to run this one more time just in case we get a little bit of variation. If Sicia does not drop her debuffs, it will take a little bit longer, but I want to give a chance to show that. I'm not going to run it too many more times. This will be the last one. You can kind of see the consistency, see the speed. It's pretty nice. She did it again. Very convenient. We got goes when little ones go. 15 seconds, still such a fast team. And that's really about it. This team does rely for this specific setup on these Coldhearts. You could do it with one less Coldheart, probably, and have somebody who's bringing some kind of defense, a taunt or a shield. You could probably do this with just Sicia, not Akoth, but you're going to need a bunch of extra speed. That way she can drop the fire and then set it herself before the spiderlings get to go. There's a lot of flexibility. Prince Kymar also is pretty necessary, but you can use somebody else who resets cooldown of abilities. Although I think you have to live a little longer because the Coldheart's A4s won't get reset fast enough for most of the reset abilities in the game. This one is kind of fixed. Kymar is pretty key. Any other burner will work for Akoth as long as they're dropping AoE burns on the whole team. And you could also swap out Sicia for another Coldheart if you happen to have a bunch of those. That'd actually probably be even faster than what I have here. So that's it. That's the team. That's the win. Again, this has been Alternate Image Raid, a spinoff of Alternate Image Gaming channel. If you like this, like, subscribe. We're going to keep doing these for every type of dungeon and basically every bit of content in the game from a perspective of somebody who has not spent a lot in this game. This is not a whale account. I don't have every champion you could possibly have. I don't have the best, craziest gear you could possibly have. So this will give you a perspective of these teams from a more realistic account. Again, it's been Alternate Image Raid. Like, subscribe, and have a great day.